Fuck you. Hence the code name. He's become a C-list hero thanks mostly to his father's position. Anything Jury has gotten, he has bullied or bribed out of people thanks to his last name, or charmed them with his good looks and...
Stupid thing.
Fuck you. Hence the code name. He's become a C-list hero thanks mostly to his father's position. Anything Jury has gotten, he has bullied or bribed out of people thanks to his last name, or charmed them with his good looks and social status.
Working.
He's C-list, he doesn't have much of a social...
That mage got...
Working. He's C-list, he doesn't have much of a social...
Okay, there we go. Okay, I think I got it working.
That mage got...
Working. He's C-list, he doesn't have much of a social...
Okay, there we go. Okay, I think... Alright, there we go. Hello everybody, it's your pal Smiley, back for a little more superhero action. Alright, let's see. Last time we left off, we had just fucked up our only way of solving this case, unsurprisingly. So next chapter, Prodigies. When things snap back into focus, you find that you're in the foyer of a sleek loft. You clap your hand over your mouth and slide against the nearest wall, hoping no one has heard you. The telelock must have activated somehow, despite the energy overload. Perhaps it was because Madame Vice was still nearby. Or perhaps, how stupid are you? You hear a deep voice say, interrupting your thoughts. You peek your head around the wall of the foyer and see none other than Smingers, sitting on a large metal throne, staring at something across the room. Okay, I don't want to give him deep voice, but I'm also not confident I could actually do a Mr. Smithers voice. Fuck it, I'm gonna go for Smithers. He wears tight, black clothes. Oh, he has the same fashion sense as us. His bulging muscles covered in veins and bluish scars. What the fuck was he doing that they're bluish? Like, I've seen plenty of scars before, none that were blue. Huh. Okay, wait, oh fuck. I lost my place, goddammit. The byproduct of gene splicing ultra steroids. Oh, so the Smithers voice makes sense then. His balls must be fucking microscopic. His face is equally scarred, scattered with stab and gunshot wounds. How often is he getting okay, I could get the stab, maybe, because he's making anime, they got fucking scars and shit. How often does this motherfucker get shot in the face? Like, it doesn't even make sense. The effects make him look considerably less human. Yeah, no surprise. You can't help it. The sight of Smingers sends a chill up your spine. You try to ignore this as you spot the large silver staff in Smingers' hands, covered in gemstones the size of baseballs. Oh, I'm taking that shit. That must be it. The gravitas. You almost squeal because you've done it. You found the damn thing. You start to scroll through the ways you're going to spend that reward money, knowing that all you need to do now is get your hands on the gravitas. That is until your eyes settle on the 10 armed guards flanking Smingers. Okay, I read that as one word, and I'm genuinely not sure if they all have 10 arms or if there's 10 of them and they are armed. Yeah, let's find out. Next to them stand 3 menacing figures you recognize as Smingers' splice generals. Fuck, it's been a minute. I don't remember who the fuck they were. One of them is 10 feet tall and made of stone. Oh, Steven Universe's mom. That must be the security general, Boulder. Another has elongated plastic fingers ignited by flames. That's the owner of Ace High's casino, 3rd degree. It's still a stupid name. The last has sharp knives growing out of his every joint in her body. That must be Fracture, the drug queen. So, are they her bones? Is she basically just marrow? Because I feel like the fracture implies bones. Alright. You swallow hard, a knot of fear balling up in your stomach. What the fuck? Fear? Fuck fear. We'd go fucking headlong into shit. You would probably have a hard time talking on just... I'm fucking tired today. Taking on just one of these criminals, let alone all of them combined. Suddenly the gravitas seems to have an afterthought. God damn it. Wake up. How are you even going to get out of here alive? With that in mind, you begin to consider your power levels. Oh shit, what the fuck am I at? I'm at 39. I'm gonna get my ass handed to me. If you're going to survive this battle, you'd better make sure you're properly equipped to do so. Luckily, your energy power allows you to recharge your levels. You can recharge your power, but it drains a proportionate amount of health. Likewise, you can heal yourself. Okay. Current level's 39. Health is 110. You're feeling strong, but that could just be all the adrenaline coursing through you. You know that if either of your levels drops to 0, you'll die instantly. Why would you die if the power drops? Okay. So do you think you need to recharge your power before things get so intense out there? Okay, I definitely need to, but how much? Let's go 20 just to be safe. Gritting your teeth, you begin to siphon health energy from your body. A process that feels a lot like pulling every hair from your skin at the same time. Oh, Jesus Christ. Taking waxing to a whole new level. Thankfully, it only takes a second, and once it's done, your power level is 59. I should have gone with 30. I did not think about it. I should have gone to 30, going to battle with 69. Your health level is 90. Ready to act, you tense all of your muscles, hoping you have enough power and health to survive the night. When you realize Smingers and his mob all have their weapons locked on something across the room. A young woman. She wears a bodysuit made of black Kevlar with one thick red strip running up the center. When the bodysuit ends, the red stripe continues to cover her face, showing only her deep burgundy lips, crystal blue eyes, and long, dark hair. She looks statuesque, like one of those genetically enhanced Victoria's Secret angels. Could they just put the... I guess they could say that. Whatever. Slugger, you think. Another hero has beat you to the punch. She must be even more insane than you are, since she stands unarmed, sitting down the staring down the splice circle. You went to great lengths to find... You went to great lengths to find my base of operations, Smingers says, gesturing towards a large hole in the floor next to the Kevlar girl. A sight that causes you to lose your breath. You realize that you have no idea how far the telelock has taken you, or how to get back outside. You snap out of it as Smingers continues. Where are you? What are you here for? You look back to the Kevlar girl, remembering that Smingers has the power to elicit a truthful response from anyone. He asks a direct question. A very handy gift for a powered mob boss. That must be why you haven't killed... why they haven't killed Kevlar girl yet. Smingers wants to know how and why she's here first. How should I talk her? Now, everything she says is going to be a whisper. I don't care. I'm here, she says softly, barely audible. To kill you. Suddenly, Kevlar girl produces 2 massive cannons and fires thick surges of laser energy into the heart of the circle. Within seconds, 4 guards in 3rd degree are crisped to ash right before your eyes. Jesus. It's gotta be an ironic way to go for a fire guy. Your stomach turns as you realize it smells like a summer barbecue. Ew. I guess they were probably anime. Pork, fine. A deafening roar erupts as the guards return fire. Fracture whips down I'm not talking good right now. God damn it. Fracture whips dozens of razor-sharp blades at Kevlar girl while Boulder moves to protect Smingers from the fray. Smingers shouts something at Boulder while waving the gravitas, but you can't make out the words over the gunshots. You quickly generate a protective energy shield, terrified of catching the brunt of a stray attack. Looking through the pinkish energy barrier, your eyes snap back to Kevlar girl as she leaps into the air and does a series of flips, her movements creating a visible trail that blocks the barrage of bullets and knives. She must be able to generate some kind of flash shield with their movements. Our shield is made of energy. People should be fucking noticing it. Kevlar Girl then lands and sends off another round of cannon pulses. You look back to Smingers' corner. See that the last blast took out another half of the guards and left a large, nasty burn on Boulder's back. Weak point. You can hardly believe your eyes. This woman just killed close to a dozen people in a matter of seconds. Hot. An intense rush of dread overtakes you. No. An intense flood of blood goes to your genitals. Fuck the rest of this. Now, we absolutely signed up for this. You don't want to die today. Well, yeah, but still. But just as soon as these thoughts appear, you force them from your brain, because all the blood is being drained from it to your penis. You've been training for this your entire life, so what are you going to do? Let's see, jump right into the fray and stop the killing! No. Only concern is the Gravitas, make a grab for it, she'll probably try and kill us. Wait for them all to kill each other, then take the Gravitas by surprise from whoever is left standing. And wait for the police. Okay, fuck the police. Not stopping the killing. Okay, at this point it seems like, Leather Bitch is probably gonna be the one left standing. More than likely she can kick our ass. But if we go for the Gravitas, she'll still probably try to kill us anyway, and we'd be drawing attention away from her and onto us. But it's the more selfish, impulsive move to that one. You're a hero, but without a reputation and some money saved, you can't really do anything. The truth is, you need the Gravitas to launch your career. So without a second thought, you shoot forward in a blur, moving at top speed right towards Smingers. Before he can see you coming, you crash into him and grab the Gravitas right out of his hands. Keenly aware of the bullets and blasts ricocheting all around you, you canvass the room and spot a window in the far corner. You have no idea where the window will lead. You're just thankful the room has an exit at all. Before you can move, you see the crazy Kevlar girl has dropped her cannons and holds something new in her hands. A grenade. I really like her now. Though this looks unlike any grenade you've ever seen before, it's intricately coiled with tech and its core glows blue. It's a fucking power dampener, I call it now. You dash towards the window, but Kevlar girl reaches it first, smashing her way outside and leaving the grenade behind as a parting gift. You struggle to get out, but the Gravitas blocks your path. Frantic, you drop it and push your way outside. Wait, what the fuck did she do? Smashing her way outside and leaving the grenade behind is... It's a grenade. Go around it. Knock it away. You have options. Just as an intense flash of blue heat erupts from the headquarters, followed by a massive explosion that sends flames and debris flying in every direction. You manage to pull up above the blast, but not high enough. You scream as you feel the force of the explosion catch you in the back and send you reeling. It takes several seconds for your head to stop ringing and your vision to clear. When they do, you find yourself on the street below. The blast sent you a couple of blocks down, significantly lowering your health. How bad? Oh, 60. It's not that bad. It's fine. That grenade was some seriously advanced technology. It was an explosion. Where on earth did Kevlar girl get her hands on something like that? It was just an explosion. Was the fancy tech shit because it was blue? You look up at Shed and see people flooding out the front door as the top half of the building rages with flames. Could it really be that Kevlar girl has done the impossible? Did she just take out Smingers and half of the Splice Circle in one attack? What the fuck was the point of even having the whole genetic lock teleportation shit if it was upstairs? Through the raging fire, you managed to make out Kevlar girl's shadow leaping onto a rooftop, holding the Gravitas! She must have gone back in for it after the blast and sifted through the wreckage to recover it. No doubt protected by her shield movements. You don't know whether to be horrified or impressed. This girl has some serious moxie. We're impressed. There is no argument about this. Still, you're not about to let her escape. Not if she murdered all these people. That was my job. Especially not if the one thing that's going to launch your career. You fly after Kevlar girl, but as you reach the roof, you find that she isn't fleeing. She's pointing the Gravitas directly at you. Before you can react, you feel the air around you twist with a sucking noise and feel yourself being pulled downward. You try to fight it, but you can't stop yourself from crashing into the roof. It's like someone suddenly turned your powers off and a giant invisible hand is crushing you down. Then it clicks. The gravitas must control gravity. Who would have guessed? No wonder Smingers wanted to get his hands on it. An object that powerful would be useful to anyone, let alone a mob boss with a strictly defensive power set. Feels nice, huh? Feels nice, huh? You hear Kevlar Girl say from above you. But you don't have the patience for snappy banter. You know this girl won't hesitate to kill you, so what are you going to do? Deal, working both the same goal here, collecting the warders. Threaten her, she may have the upper hand, but not long. Do I still have most of my power? I should. 42. Worth the risk. Anti-gravity may affect your flight power, but it won't affect your energy power. If flight. You let off a quick surge in Kevlar Girl's direction, unable to turn your head to see if you've hit her. But as you feel the weight pushing down on you doubled, you realize you must have missed. Nice try, Captain Thunderificent, the 21st Esquire, she says. But you'll have to do better than that. You groan under the weight of the gravitas, knowing Kevlar Girl is about to kill you, just like all those Splice Circle members. As your ribs start to creak under the pressure, you hear police sirens blaring from the street below. You've never been so happy to hear that sound. Suddenly you hear the weight lifted off your shoulders and the spring to your feet, just in time to see Kevlar Girl strapping a layer of plastic explosive to the gravitas. Wait! Stop! What are you? You start moving forward, but Kevlar Girl just pulls away from you and holds the gravitas out in front of her body. The name is Prodigal Chicken, she says, and you'll see me again. Without another word, the girl named Prodigal drops through the gravitas. She will be Mrs. Thunderificent, the 21st Esquire. Horrified, you watch as the gravitas explodes at Prodigal's feet. A plume of silver smoke erupts into the sky as shards of shattered gemstones go flying in every direction. You step back, covering your eyes to protect them from the explosion. When the smoke finally clears, you find that Prodigal has vanished. Only the gravitas remains in charred pieces, destroyed beyond repair. Take them. We can still fucking turn it in for maybe some money. No. Why would she destroy the gravitas? Now it's of no use to anyone. It doesn't make any sense. Then another thought hits you. Before she left, Prodigal called you Captain Thunderificent, the 21st Esquire. She knows your code name. But how? You've only been on the hero scene for a few hours. How would she know? You hear the sound of police choppers swooping overhead, so you don't have time much time to ponder this question. What are you going to do? Flee the scene. Again, fuck duh police. With the case this big ruined, not to mention over a dozen murders involving the Splice Circle committed, no one in the MCPD is going to care what... The MIC-PD is going to care whether you're innocent or not. This whole debacle is going to make the police look terrible. And they're just going to want a scapegoat to pin it all on. And if you stay, the scapegoat will be you. Considering that with the Prodigal gone, you're currently the only one standing next to the destroyed gravitas in a building full of dead bodies. Dead mobsters. So this is literally the fucking Dale issue. It's like, oh, if the police find me here, they'll try and pin it on me. And since I did it, they will succeed. You fly towards home, your mind racing with questions. What will happen to your reputation now that the gravitas is destroyed? Will the police blame everything on you? Will you become a fugitive? Then your thoughts spin completely out of control. Will Jury and Madame Vice be gunning for you after what you did to them? Even worse, will the remnants of the Splice Circle be out for revenge? And who is this mysterious Prodigal? The girl who sabotaged your first mission. Why didn't she kill you when she had the chance? You're too exhausted to even begin to contemplate the answers of these questions. You've pushed your powers to their limit, and have taken more than a few hits tonight. What are we at? We're at 35. That's not the fucking limit. Calm down. But all you can think about right now is getting home to your bed, knowing that Grandma will help you sort it all out in the morning. 15 minutes later. Isn't long before you see your bedroom window waiting for you invitingly. Thinking you might collapse before you can reach it, you give one final push to land inside. All you want to do is get in bed immediately, but you need to let Grandma know that you're alright. Your muscles aching, you move slowly toward the door. Gran, it's me, you shout. I'm alright, but I'm... Fuck, whose voice? Well, look who it is. It doesn't say whose voice it is. You hear a familiar voice say, stopping you in your tracks, sitting in your living room is none other than... Mayor Victon! And he does not look pleased. I'm gonna murder him. Honestly, I can't decide whether it's him or his son that I picture this way, but I imagine the head of the fucking dude that Steve Buscemi played from the end of Neo Yokio, but with, like, a black Speedo that goes all the way up to his... the band goes up to his shoulders instead of around his waist, and then black gloves, black boots, and a tiny gavel. That's what I'm picturing. Do not ask me why. That's just what it is. And of course, he has the long-ass powdered wig. Chapter 6. Victonian Visions. How should I voice him? Your heart begins to pound and you clench your fists. Just about all you can do not to pummel Mayor Victon on sight. The only thing holding you back is seeing Grandma sitting in the living room behind him. What are you doing here? You say, willing yourself to stop shaking. Now, there's no need to be rude, Mayor Victon says. After all, your grandmother was kind enough to invite me inside. You send Grandma a look, and she returns it with a calm nod. Not now, Othelio, you imagine her saying. I received an urgent call from my son, claiming that some rogue rookie attacked him and sabotaged his latest case. Mayor Victon says. I had my office discover which so-called hero this was, and a quick background search gave us your address. Then I had some of my more colorful staff pay you a visit. Your eyes flash back to Grandma, but she nods once again, indicating that she's all right. If this scum had hurt her, you don't even want to think about what you'd do. He would be splattered all over the fucking wall. It's terrifying that your private information is out there, too. Sure, you have a secret identity, but since all heroes have to register with the government, there's a secured database with all of the licensed heroes' information on it. A database that Mayor Victon clearly has access to, one way or another. Imagine my surprise when I found an old woman living here instead of some young buck hero. Then my absolute delight to learn that I had walked right into the new life of my dear old friends, the Voltaire the Third Esquires. Shit. Victon nearly coos. I had heard you'd both been enrolled in the Poofed, but I rather frustratingly hadn't been informed of your whereabouts. Mayor Victon pauses, hitting you with the warmest politician smile he can muster. He's got the same Kennedy-esque good looks as his son, but you can slightly see his replugged hairline and concealer-covered cheeks. It's rather gratifying to find that you finally have found you after all these years, and even more gratifying to know exactly where you live, Victon says, his voice dropping. Do keep that in mind the next time you happen to come across my son. That's enough, you think. Tell me if I can leave now. Ooh. Not fucking hearing him out. This is probably better for Grandma. We want to be an asshole, but we like Grandma. Does blast Mayor Victon away make you a criminal? I want to kill him, but I want to destroy his life first. For now, just GTFO. Get the hell out of my apartment before I throw you out, you say, your voice trembling. This man took your parents away from you, and now he has the audacity to threaten you in your own home? Not tonight. Especially because for all Mayor Victon's posturing, he has his eye on a bid for the upcoming presidential election. Oh, we gon' fuck that up. He's beloved by the people of Millennia City for regulating powered activity, making the city a safer place to live in. Taking down your murderous parents was spun as a positive, but coming after their innocent, shattered family won't play well to the public, especially not with the Poofed backing you up. Okay, I literally was just fucking reading the DC Legends event earlier. Very similar themes going on with that. The whole superhero registration, blah, 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 using a accident as a murder bullshit. I am not in the mood for it. Just kind of makes me hate this asshole even more. Fuck, where was I? So Mayor Victon won't want to make any waves here, at least not today. But Mayor Victon eyes you, seemingly pleased by your aggression. Of course, I have a full security detail positioned outside your door, in addition to the considerable defenses afforded by my ship. So I'd caution against any rash decisions. Yeah, blasting him definitely would have been a bad end. Mayor Victon smiles at you, a smile that sends ice through your veins. You're about to respond when suddenly, Mayor Victon shouts in pain and jumps sideways. You're quite delighted to see that one of your grandmother's Venus flytraps has had its way with Mayor Victon's thigh. Oh, I'm terribly sorry about that, Grandma says. Milo sometimes has a mind of her own. Now, if you'll excuse me, I do think it's time you were leaving. That is, unless you have something constructive to add to this conversation. Mayor Victon looks from Grandma to you, the smile draining from his face. I just wanted to drop by to let you know you always have a friend in me, Victon says as he walks toward the door. Feel free to call me any time. And now that I know where you are, where you two live, do remember that I can call you any time I'd like to. On that discomforting notion, Victon exits your apartment. Bastard, Grandma says, petting Demilo. She looks as if she wants to say more, but stops when she gets a closer look at you. Oh my word, you look dreadful, Othelio. Are you all right? Just a moment to think. No, tonight has been intense. I don't know. Let's go with yes, I just need a moment to think. Push down all the negative emotions. So much has happened so quickly. Just a few short hours ago, it was the best birthday of your life, but now, you just had a second to stop and collect your thoughts. You're sure you'd be alright. Try your hardest to block out the failures, to forget that your costume is still covered in bits of human ash. You thought being a hero would be glamorous and exciting, but tonight was just... You could barely save your own life, let alone anyone else's. As the adrenaline finally drains from your body, one thought pounds in your brain, pushing out everything else. You wish your parents were here. It isn't long before you're on the floor, the room blotching into blackness. The last thing you make out is Grandma kneeling beside you, looking more worried than you've ever seen her. 2 weeks later, we went to fucking coma. But the rookie hero, Captain Thunderificent, the 21st Esquire, ruins everything! You bitch! We were gonna bang you! It's been weeks since this article came out, but it still stings every time you read it. At this point, you can only bear the skin, the clipping. Not only does the news blog chew you out for destroying the gravitas, it's also a quote from Rexford Schiller's damning you for costing him hundreds of thousands of dollars. And of course, there's a quote from Jury, too, saying that you sabotaged what otherwise would have been a successful mission for him. The McPDs have also marked you as a dangerous fugitive, pinning the Splice Circle murders on you. In fact, the only reason the police haven't knocked down your door is Jenny had the from a database and alter my personal information. Storage for remainder. Upgrade the anti-tracking function. Hack the database myself. I can do that? I can be not a dumbass? Huh. I feel like if we go with the Jenny option, then she'll be like marked later and it'll come back to bite her in the ass. Whereas if we do it, it'll probably come back to bite us in the ass. But we don't care. Okay, yeah, we hack the database and change the information. You spent a lifetime looking out for yourself, and this is no different. You know how to solve problems on your own. It doesn't hurt that you happen to be fantastic with computers. Last and certainly not least, Mayor Victon's office commented on the article, saying that it's amateur hero screw-ups like this one that Mayor Victon's hoping to further regulate during the rest of his term. He speaks in the third person now, I decided. While this Orbit article probably helped to make Sonia Chawla's career, it appears that she has done irreparable damage to yours. Even though she gave you a boost with that first piece on Tracker, she has thoroughly trashed your name in the second article, a fact you won't forget anytime soon. The people of Millennia City now think of you not as just as a hack, but as an actual danger to society. If you thought getting a good hero gig was hard before, it's just got doubly difficult. Your legend level seems to have decimated before it has even had a chance to rise, down to a measly 5 according to your license. You check the official Hero Legend meter website that tracks your legend like a credit score, but you know it's bound to be depressing. The only positive news is that good or bad, famous or infamous, you've placed yourself on the map in a big way. Getting people's attention is the first step to becoming a hero, even if it's only negative. And now that all of Millennia City is watching, it's up to you to decide what they see next. With that thought in mind, you took some time to rest and recover from that first traumatizing night. More importantly, you took time to reflect upon your actions. Considering all that happened with the Gravitas case, how do you really feel about your first heroic night? See, we got our name out there, which is all we set out to do in the first place. Who cares what they're saying? Yeah, that's solid. My reputation is ruined. People think I'm useless and best, a criminal at worst. It's going to be impossible not to launch a successful hero career. Didn't save enough lives to complete my mission as a hero. No, don't give a fuck. Sometimes remaining positive and having a good attitude is all that matters. You still believe in yourself, and that trait is worthy of legend. Using your powers in real-life heroing situations was quite a rush, but it proved to be But it proved to be equally terrifying. Even though you managed to survive the night, your power and health levels could have dropped to dangerously low levels. After a week's rest, you're fully healed and powered. But how do you feel about fighting decisions? So I lied against the insane dangerous promise, which is all that matters. Too timid. Way too brazen. Followed my gut and... More offensively. Certainly learned that feelings regarding the law really matter, especially since these feelings have significantly affected your reputation with the MIC-PD. How do you plan to react to the law and police moving forward? These are hating me could be a serious issue moving forward in the career, but at least they're free to act however I see it. I should have followed the law, worked with the police, having them outside. No, fuck that. Say it again, fuck the police. No one's going to be able to tell you how to live your life as a hero, especially not the police. Finally, for only one night on the job, you amassed an impressive array of enemies. Who do you think is your biggest threat? Rexford chillers can fuck off. Police can fuck off. Jury's a piece of shit. Vice, realistically, probably doesn't feel that bad about us. We didn't do anything to her. We tried to stop her, but we also gave her fair warning. The Splice Circle is in tatters, so while they're still probably a threat, they're not a major one. Mayor Victon has got it. Yeah, it's definitely fucking Victon. Mayor Victon has more power and influence than everyone else on this list combined. He can make your life hell if he wants to. And after what he did to your parents, there's no way he can't think of you as a potential threat to his political aspirations. No matter how you feel about your first case as a hero, you realize that this is going to be way harder than you expected. You're going to have to be stronger, smarter, and faster if you have any hope of surviving the deadly enemies you face. And of finding the success you so desperately crave. But what if this is all a crazy pipe dream? What if you're not good enough? What if the odds just never work in your favor? Your dreams could simply not come true, and no one would know except for you. You quickly shake these doubts off, though. No one ever said this was going to be easy. Life lessons, right there. What are our stats at? Okay, our shit's back up. Still reasonable team player, mostly offensive. Fuck the law. Fuck justice. How is Victon at 19%? Because we didn't fucking shoot him? Whatever. As a bonus for maintaining one of the highest possible legend levels, 6 at this point, you could choose to purchase another costume upgrade. You currently have $2,000. Thin tube, secret channel energy for shielding purposes. Rocket backpack, channel excess energy, and add propulsion to my flying. Flying be good. It's only 300. Just fly at normal speeds without lowering. Okay, see, there we go. That will be useful, especially since that one doesn't give you a decision. It just happens. Ready to get back to work, you pull your Captain Thunderificent the 21st Esquire costume out. You know Grandma will kill you if you don't say goodbye before leaving. So you walk into the living room, where you find her wrestling with a rather large palm frond. Grandma has lost one lilac earring, and her floral dress is covered in dirt stains. I'm fine, Grandma says, wiping her brow. Tropes here was just having... Is it Tropes or Tropez? Tropez here was just having a bit of a hard time adjusting, but he'll feel right at home in no time. By the way, that video game woman called again, and she sounded rather angry. In your haste to start your heroic career, you quit the video game testing job without telling the company, or returning your advance deposit. Perhaps not the smartest move, especially now that you have no idea how you're going to start making money as a hero. Unfortunately, your bank account also took another hit this morning as you paid $800 for rent. Grandma's pension doesn't cover all the bills. What the fuck is the point of the government putting you in witness protection if they aren't going to cover your shit? Doesn't make sense. At least I got the cheaper upgrade option. Anyway, are you going to see Jenny? Grandma asked, returning to her battle with Tropez. Grandma thinks that with all of this fresh, heroic hell on your plate, it'd be smart to strategize with your proofed agent Jenny. She has access to government information and claims to have a lead that could help you sort out the mess with the Gravitas case. But you probably bit off too fast taking on the Splice Circle, so you've got your sights set on a smaller scale mission for tonight. Oh, Arthelio, Grandma says. Have you made a decision yet about the sidekick mentoring project? How the fuck are we even eligible for that if the cops are gunning for our ass? Despite your heroic false start, Grandma has still been insisting that you take on a sidekick mentee. She's always been involving in mentoring powered youth, and you even had your own hero mentor back when you were younger. And the most exciting thing he asked for you to do was pick up his dry cleaning, dick. You'd never tell Grandma, but you don't have much faith in the program. Besides, you can't imagine any young, powered person who'd want to work with an amateur like you. You've been rather reluctant to choose all week, but at this point you're just tired of Grandma's constant and helpful reminders. All right, you say, pulling up the applicant files on your Me chip. As they scroll in front of your face, you decide to go with... Okay, let's see. Seriously, we've gone on one mission. We've royally fucked it. How are we even eligible for this? Sparrow, a 16-year-old orphan from the eastern fringes who has appearance and abilities of a typical bird. Okay, yeah, no to her automatically. We've established we are furry racists. Neighborhood with the fringes, you want to have heroic opportunities with a reach. Pressy, a 14-year-old, 4-foot-tall, gnomish-looking boy. He believes his power to manipulate the earth comes solely from his magical peg leg. His only dream was to become a hero. Given his rather cutesy appearance, he seems highly unlikely. Okay, I respect him. He seems like a soft boy who's trying to get into the big leagues. I fuck with it. See, Tarana Rain, a 15-year-old girl, has the power to generate and manipulate water. She goes to a ritzy Rhine Hill-powered private school and comes from a wealthy family. One that owns the Millennial Orb. Ooh. Okay, definitely not Sparrow. Fuck animal people. Pressy does appeal to me. I definitely would want, to have, a cute little sidekick to distract from my bullshit. But if Tarana family runs the orbit, if we get in good with her, we can siphon money from her and completely fuck over Sonia. The decision is easy. Plus, she's from a ritzy upscale neighborhood, so she's probably an asshole. That works with us. But what achievements have I gotten so far? Oh, right, I forgot I already had all of them anyway. Fucking played the shit out of this back in the day. Whatever. Wait, does it say the dates on them? Fuck. No. Nah, it doesn't say the dates. Oh, 1.5. Finish the game as the ultimate badass. That's the goal. Finish the game with the perfect legend score, hopefully. Print out an article on Fistful. I don't know who that is. Okay. Tarana Rain sounds like she might be a real pain, and you can't fathom why she's applying for the program. But you do like the idea of having a connection to the orbit. Smart. Impressing her parents might come in very handy, given your considerable influence within the media world. Hey, if you're going to do this mentor-sidekick thing, why not get something out of it for yourself, too? Ooh, I smell trouble, Meatship Bonquiqui says. I don't remember what voice I gave her. Appearing today in one of her standard issue outfits, a naughty secretary. This mess is going to be too hot to handle. Why is... Okay. Ignoring Bonquiqui, as you should, and wishing you'd chosen a potentially less offensive personality template for your Meatship. Too late for that. I'm going to go with Tarana Rain, you say to Grandma. I had a feeling you might, Grandma says, a mischievous smirk stretching across her face. Which is why I told her to meet you at Ridge Square in 5 minutes to help you with whatever you've got planned for tonight. Well, presumptuous, Grandma. You open your mouth to protest, but know it's no use. Arguing with Grandma once she has made up her mind is mind-numbingly futile. You simply nod, jaw clenched. This is certainly going to be interesting. Before you go, you walk over to say goodbye to Guinea Italia, stroking her petals for good luck. Oh, for heaven's sake, Othelio, Grandma starts once again, looking more worried than you can stand. Please be careful out there. For a second, I thought she was going to chew us out for touching the plant. You nod at Grandma, knowing it'll be hard to screw things up worse than you did last time. Oh, we shall see. Is that a challenge? Because it sounds like a challenge. You think I can't fuck up worse? I will tear down a building with my bare hands. In your room, you prepare for takeoff, checking over your costume one last time. Make sure you still haven't gotten all the human ash out of it. Keep finding it in all your naughty places. And you look up at the poster of your parents, causing another streak of guilt to run through you. Maybe you should write to them. Then you stop yourself, thinking that nothing has changed. You've been left to live your life without your parents, so that's exactly what you're going to do. Instead, you glance over to the poster of Rebellion, thinking that getting to his level seems further away than ever before. Part 2. Pride comes before. Wasn't Hero Fall a later game? I think it's like the third one. Chapter 7. Ganged Upon. That's, interesting visual. Alright. Tarana Rain is late. Already this whole sidekick theme seems like a very bad idea. You wait in Ringe Square, alone, feeling a bit self-conscious about your costume. It's not like you're a fucking fugitive or anything! Grandma knew you had to meet Tarana Rain somewhere public to protect your identity, but you could have chosen a better location. This park is a notorious drug center. You feel the eyes of dealers on you from all around, waiting to see why you're here. What the fuck, Grandma? Not to mention some punk kid recognized you and shouted about how his dog would probably be a better hero than you. What a great first brush with fame, you think? You could also swear one of them was taking photos of you. Before you can locate the source of the flash, your Meatship pulses with an alert. Hey, lover, you have an update on that big old crush of yours, Meatship Bonquiqui says. Try to keep it in your pants this time. You read me? Who the fuck was he talking about? Turning red, you ignore Bonquiqui and open the news blog instead. The millennial group gets a touch of magic. As you read this headline, your heart nearly stops beating. Black magic blazed onto the hero scene after single-handedly protecting Mick from a foreign terrorist incursion last year. Even though her origin remains completely shrouded in mystery, Black Magic is currently Mick's most famous solo hero, especially after receiving the latest Millennial City Heroes of Tomorrow hot grant. It's the most esteemed honor that can be bestowed upon any aspiring hero. It doesn't hurt that Black Magic is absolutely gorgeous either. Despite the mainstream hype, you can't help but be attracted to Black Magic. She's not like those other girls. Mostly because of her striking resemblance to your biggest crush, an old-time celebrity from back in the days when normal people were famous. Okay, none of these are particularly good. I guess, like, 10 years ago, these were better options. None of these are all that appealing to me. No, black magic really looks like... Oh, I have to look up how to spell this. Okay, there we go. Kat Dennings. Better than the other options. Next. Okay. Black magic is a dead ringer for Kat Dennings. You think she might actually be a direct descendant, but no one knows enough about her past to be sure. The big titties are kind of a giveaway, though. You've always been fine being alone, especially since you haven't had much choice in the matter. Still, there's something about black magic. Whenever you see her, you feel like you want more. It appears your biggest crush has just joined your favorite powered team. The combination is enough to leave you breathless. You imagine yourself in the holographic photo next to black magic, your hands secretly on her back behind the camera. You'd be the hottest celebrity couple in Mick's biggest team. Wow! Thinking really highly of yourself, though I guess that's how we've made him up to this point. Then your mind wanders to you in black magic, backstage in a deserted storage closet, pressed up against the wall, your hands on her ample chest, her hands sliding down your stomach, unbuckling the belt of your costume. I thought it was like a one-piece suit. You're saying we're wearing pants. Okay. I wonder if, like, had I not... Like, really, there weren't that many choices that were, like, horny. So is that just a part of him, whatever you do, or is it only before for, like, the asshole build? Hello, you hear a sharp voice say, pulling you back to reality. You turn to find Tarana Rain standing next to you, arms crossed. She wears thigh-high boots and 5-inch heels and a tight white costume, which pops against her dark brown skin. Wow, you say, without thinking. Nothing about Tarana's outfit is the least bit practical for heroing, especially not the diamond earrings. Oh, she's gonna get those ripped out, which probably cost more than your apartment. Of all the lame-ass heroes they could have stuck me with, I get the reject who couldn't even handle an ancient accessory. Tarana seethes, eyeing you as if you have leprosy. Looking exhausted, she reaches down to her boot and pulls out a flask. Mommy needs a shot. Oh, I love her so far. She's an absolutely unrepentant bitch. I made the correct decision. Whoa, aren't you only... Relax, I generate water, remember? The excess moisture in my body keeps me so hydrated it would take an entire distillery to catch a buzz. What the fuck are you drinking then? Tarana says, downing half the flask in one gulp. Still, it takes the edge off, and I lace it with some ludes. Jesus fucking Christ. Now we're going to off some baddies, or what? Oh yeah, she's down to murder. You stare at Tarana, speechless. You really picked a winner here, didn't you? Yes, we did. What? Why the sarcasm? Why are you still trying to act like you're a fucking paragon? We're going to break up an Anna gang rumble. Yes, fuck up the furries. You say, knowing there's no going back now. You've got to give this whole sidekick thing at least one night or Grandma might kill you. What the slugger is an Anna gang? How... Tarana says, taking another long pull from her flat. Didn't she drink half of it in one gulp and she just finished the thing? That's a weird, kind of weird hood thing. Oh dear. Right choice. With the splice circle in upheaval, the Anna gangs have decided that it's the perfect time to try and wipe each other out to serve the new leader without competition. So the Scales and the Cloven have been trying to kill each other in the streets all week, leading up to one final rumble rumored to be tonight. In an abandoned electric plant in the outskirts of the fringes. Do we have her on our relationship shit yet? Yes, 50%. We're going to get it all the way up to 100. She's going to love us. After botching the Gravitas case, you decided that stopping gang violence in the fringes, violence you helped escalate in the first place, as we intended, would be an excellent smaller scale way to start rebuilding your rep. On your way to the plant, you fly beside Tarana. She can move through the air by shooting jets of water from her hands and feet, like high-pressure hoses. The problem is she moves considerably slower than you. You have to exert extra power to fly slow enough for her to not fall behind. It's fucking stupid. You kept mildly entertained, however, as people in the streets below are drenched by the excess water pouring down from Tirana's flight. Yes! How long will this be? How long will this take? Tirana says. I've got a hair appointment later. It's the middle of the fucking night, wasn't it? Whatever. You're about to respond when you notice Tirana's me chip flashing away on her wrist. She's mentally texting while flying. This girl is going to get herself killed and it'll be all your fault. What on earth possessed you to big her? Good decisions. So how do your parents feel about you heroing? You ask, remembering the reason. Tirana looks at you, sending over some grade A death shade. Is that why you picked me? Because of who my parents are? You pause for a moment, considering your answer. Fuck! Okay, no, I don't even know who your parents are is bullshit. She's gonna see through that. Yes, she's either gonna be like, okay, fuck you, you're using me, or she's going to respect it. Does it matter? Middle of the road option. I picked you because you seemed like you needed the most training. She's gonna be like, fuck you. I feel like does it matter is much more in line for us. So that's a yes, Tirana says. Well, the joke's on you, because my parents don't even know I'm in here. I'm here. They don't want me to be a hero at all. Perfect, you think. Not only will Tirana's media connections not help you, but if her parents find out about you working with her, they'll probably torpedo your career even deeper. Then we drag her into a life of crime. This is all working perfectly. Don't look so thrilled, wannabe, Tirana says. Even though she'd probably kill you if she knew, Tirana looks ever so slightly defeated. She She must have to deal with a lot of people using her all the time. After that, you and Tirana continue your flight in silence. 20 minutes later, how badly did that damage it? 10%, we can get it back. You finally approach the abandoned electrical plant. Way later than you expected. I can't believe I'm going to stop a gang fight, Tirana says, looking bored. That's so low budget. Can't we do something a little flashier? Just worry about getting you out alive, you say with your patience at its end. And follow my lead. Wannabe, Tirana says, dropping down toward the plant. I think you should be following my lead. I've got this. You sigh, diving down after Tirana. Here goes nothing. A crash through the broken window, followed closely by Tirana rain, but what you see makes you both freeze. You're too late. Dozens of Anna gangsters already cover the ground, lifeless and emptied. Also strewn among them are the bodies of 7 heroes, all wearing brown and red costumes. Jesus fucking Christ. At least you hope the red is their costumes. You gasp as you realize that all of them are really young, probably some amateur youth startup team that tried to make a name for itself by stopping the rumble, idiots. That's dumb. Who would even do that? A few dozen Anna gangsters remain standing, their movements blurring together. Lizard tails and venomous fangs ripping into coarsely haired flesh. Cloven hooves and twisted antlers bash thin scaled torsos everywhere you look. Oh no, you say, frozen in the air. The scene is more grisly than you ever could have imagined. Tirana Rain looks just as horrified despite her big talk just a moment ago. Unfortunately, her powers can't keep her hovering next to you, so she begins to plummet down towards the fray, terror-stricken. You swoop down to scoop Tirana Rain up, flying to the edge of the plant to drop her off. Listen to me. Do not get involved in the fighting, you shout. I just want you to get all of those fallen heroes to safety. Can you do that for me? Tirana doesn't even blink, still frozen with fear. You bet she's never seen anything quite as gruesome as a fringe gang fight before. Can you do that for me? You shout louder, trying to snap her out of it. Tirana Rain finally nods as you spin around and then dive into the fray. You've got to stop this now. So you use Cyclone Winds to scatter the fighters across the plant. Slam the ground with energy. Drop an energy bomb. We've established Wonder Woman attack always wins. Go. You spin super fast and close your eyes, feeling cyclone after cyclone rip away from your body. When you open your eyes, you find the Anna gang members scattered across the plant, completely windswept and disorganized. You can make out the sound of Tirana Rain's voice cheering you on in the background. You smile, thinking this might go smoothly after all, but before you can finish your thought, something sharp sinks into your shoulder. God damn it! You scream as you feel fangs rip into your flesh. Instinctively, you let out a strong energy pulse and the grip loosens. You whip around to see a blonde girl falling to the ground, her hair flared in the shape of a cobra's head. As she hits the floor, you can see her blood dripping from her fangs. Ignoring the sight, you turn your attention back to the remaining anti-gangsters, knowing they'll probably attack you before tearing back into each other. You raise your arms to throw up an energy shield, but find they've gone numb. Within seconds, you feel the numbness travel down your spine, then your legs give out. There must have been some kind of venom in Cobra Girl's bite, because you're now paralyzed from the neck down. You swivel your head desperately to see that the gang brawl has started up again, all around you. It won't be long before one of them comes to finish you off. "I moved the other heroes out of the line of fire," you hear Toronto Rain shout from somewhere nearby. "Why are you lying there?" "The Cobra Girl bit me and now I can't move," you say, thankful that you can at least speak. "Can you get me out of here?" Toronto Rain steps over you and to try and move you, then her face goes blank. "The gang members! They're coming for us!" Toronto Rain, "Listen to me. You have to make a stand." Toronto looks ghostly. "I don't think I could do this." "Pull yourself together," you shout. "Just do what I tell you." You studied Toronto Rain's power profile while you were waiting for her, so you know how to utilize her abilities in ways she doesn't even know herself. Create a flood, sap the moisture from their Sap the moisture from their bodies is probably more lethal. Go with that. Toronto Rain looks down at you like you're insane. However, several anti-gangsters start to close in for the kill. She gets it together, closing her eyes tightly. Toronto Rain stretches her arms over her head and begins to scream at the top of her lungs like a fucking Dragon Ball character. Immediately, you feel the ground tremble and you turn your head towards the far wall, which has begun to buckle, trickles of water pushing through. "Wait, Toronto, what are you doing? That's not what I told you," you start to say, but it's no use. Before you can finish, the wall gives way and a tsunami crushes through, carrying massive chunks of concrete with it. Your jaw drops. There's no way anyone in here will survive the wall of water, not even you and Toronto. You close your eyes, at least your body is still numb. You shouldn't feel much of anything when the water hits. Just hope you don't end up drowning to death. Then you feel your body jerk violently and swing up into the air. You clench your jaw, expecting the rush of cold water, but all you feel is a sprinkle of mist. You open your eyes to find yourself in Toronto's arms, rocketing to the sky above the tsunami. Below, the remaining anti-gangsters swirl around, desperately trying to survive the whirlpool. "Holy slugger," you whisper as the tidal pool winds down, gushing out of the exits. You can't tell if anyone survived. All you know is that no one on the ground is moving. Once the flood clears, Toronto hose rockets you back to the ground and places you down. "I didn't know I could do that," Toronto Rain says, astonished. Then, before she can say another word, Toronto Rain faints. "Slugger," you think, as you lie in the now silent plant, completely paralyzed. This is not good. 2 hours later, you're back in Ringe Square, having healed yourself enough to fly both you and Toronto Rain back to the fringes. Back across the fringes. Of course, it's not until you're about to land that she starts to wake up. "What happened?" Toronto Rain mutters, her eyes fluttering open. "I healed myself and got us out of there just as the ambulances were arriving." You answer. "I figured neither of us needed any official attention from that mess." "Oh, that would have been just perfect," Toronto says, attempting to stand. "That's just what I need for my parents to know I'm heroing behind their backs. At least you have a few brain cells still functioning. Now where the slugger is my flask?" "Are you kidding me?" You shout, finally losing it. "Fuck me, you're insane, Toronto, and I like it. Yeah!" "Ew, are you hitting on me?" Toronto says, fishing the soggy flask out of her boot. "You're like 100 years old." "Listen, I've got to go," you say, ignoring the last remark. "There's a very impressive display back there. If we can get you to learn how to control it." "Who said I wasn't controlling it?" Then you might really turn into an A-list heroine," you finish. "Now get out of here. You're very late for your hair appointment." "Slugger!" Toronto says, immediately hose rocketing herself back to the sky. "See you later, wannabe." Did we boost points? Okay, we're at 52. It's still 2 point, we made a profit on that one. You may not know her very well yet, but you have a feeling this is going to be the beginning of a special partnership. As you watch her go, you try not to think about trying to think about what a close call that just was. Once Toronto Rain is out of sight, you reach down for your meat chip to make a call. Fuck, I can't remember. I meant to look over the voices I did last time beforehand. I do not remember what voice I gave her. I think I gave her a deep voice. I was waiting for you to ring me back, you intolerable sloot. This is like 10 years ago. I think that's just future slang. Granted, we intend to at least try to be one, but I don't think that's the meaning they intended sloot to mean in this scenario. Jenny says as her holographic image pops up. Meet me in 10 minutes, you say. We've got a lot to talk about. As you take off again, you can swear that you can see more flashes coming from across the park, but you don't have time for that right now. Stopping the Gang rumble was a good move. You didn't stop shit! And it's not enough. You were just treating a symptom, placing a band-aid on a wound that needs stitches. No, you know what really needs to be done now. You need to cut off the Gang problem at its source. You need to take down the Splice Circle. Yes, take down the people who thoroughly kicked your fucking ass last time. Chapter 8. The Vigilante. As you fly to meet Jenny, your thoughts are consumed with Tirana Rain and your own younger years. It makes you remember why Jenny is not just your agent, she's also your best friend. When your life was turned upside down by your parents' imprisonment, and you moved in with Grandma, you couldn't talk to any of your old friends. Going from your sheltered private school to the rougher public side, it was a big change, especially as you began to learn that there are all kinds of social complications to being powered. The Gang rivalries in the Eastern Fringes are just the tip of the iceberg. When it comes to powered politics, entire textbooks have been written about the subject. So to say that powered kids are cliquey would be an understatement. Upon arriving at your new school, there was one group that immediately tortured you the most. Let's see, normal, unpowered kids. Okay, the unpowered kids would be able to do shit to us. Fuck techies, don't care about clairvoyant. The animalistics to further fuel our furry racism. Next. Even though animal types tend to hang together, there are fierce rivalries between specific animal groups. For example, mammal and reptilian-based animalistics hate each other. Hate each another. I don't think that's grammatically correct. More than anything. However, despite their internal issues, the animalistics targeted you because there's anything teenagers hate most. It's when they can't squeeze you into a specific group. And you had a lot of trouble finding a group, even though you tried to befriend... Should we try to befriend... Okay, the Energy Wielders is probably a more offensive group. So we'll go with them. I gotta refill my tea. However, Energy Wielders hate flyers based on some age-old feud dating back to the earliest powered individuals. Apparently, the first flyer and the first Energy Wielder were mortal enemies. Since you have both flight and energy powers, you were seen as a particularly heinous gene hazard. Oof, Jesus Christ. No one wanted you in their group, and as a result, you were a solo stat. As a result of your solo status, you were bound to hounded by just about everyone at school. You can imagine Tirana Rain at her fancy private school. Powered school with trained social mediators and guidance counselors. You also bet Tirana Rain with her elemental power set must be one of the popular girls. She probably would have tortured you in high school. You know exactly what to do, because when you were attacked in school, a handful of social politics by... You handled the social politics by... That's it. One bully me ever... Yeah, no, beat the shit out of everyone who comes into my path. Despite hating you, everyone knew not to mess with you after you cracked a few of the bully's skulls. Still, you felt very alone, actually. You've always felt alone. It's not something you allow yourself to give much thought to. It's just the way things are. There are some things in life you can't control. The only thing you can control is how hard you work to change everything, and how many skulls you crack. You're meeting Jenny at your favorite spot, the Vigilante, Mick's largest comic game collectible store, which luckily happens to be open 24 hours. What the fuck? That's dumb. Occupy 4 stories! How does a fucking nerd store take up 4 fucking stories? Like, the biggest fucking nerd store I know of is Midtown Comics, and that's only 2 floors. The Vigilante is practically a department store for all things hero-related. You and Jenny always meet in one of the private gaming rooms, usually of your favorite virtuous reality games. I hate that they call it that. It's so irritating and stupid. Also, guarantee if we had chosen to be a girl, we could have, done other shit that was not quite so virtuous in those rooms. I literally just forgot the voice I gave her. God damn. Hold on. Sorry, Arthelio. I'm afraid there's no time for fun today, she says, sitting down. As usual, she wears her ponytail pantsuit uniform, though you notice she has added an unexpected red heel to the ensemble. I hear you've been rather busy, Jenny says. Too busy to return my calls, it seems. I know, but before you rip into me, you start, let me tell you my side of the story. 20 minutes later. Having heard every detail of your first heroing night, Jenny pauses to mull it over. Well, you certainly dove headfirst into the deep end, didn't you? Ever heard of paying your dues, climbing the ladder? There's a reason people aren't supposed to skip steps. Captain Thunderificent the 21st Esquire, you should have called for help. You should have... Jenny! You interrupt. I get it. I took on too much too fast, which is exactly why I went back to basics earlier tonight. I stopped the Anna Gang rumble. Well, that's certainly smarter, though no less dangerous place to start, Jenny offers. Still, you've dug yourself quite a hole here. Yes, I did, you say, tired of mulling over the horrors of your situation. So what are we going to do to make it better? I suppose that's the spirit. Well, I'll start looking at the Prodigal. There's not much to go on. Black Kevlar bodysuits are pretty common purchases these days. I could look into a power set, but I bet she's unregistered. It's clear that she has some kind of mad-on for you, though. Perhaps you have your first genuine villain stalker. Yeah, right, you say, wishing you were enough of a somebody for that to be true, because you want to bone her. She probably saw that silly hero press post and wanted me out of her way. She's just sort of a nobody trying to make a name for herself. Still, anything you can find would be helpful. I'm on it. Before we move on to the Splice Circle, I've got a bit of briefing prepared for you. All the basics on powered heroing plus some gems of advice. You want to go over it now? Yes, I can use all the help I can get. Good, Jenny says, looking down at her meat ship. Inspector Detective will forward you to the folder. There's proofed handbooks on heroing in there, but since you're maintaining a secret identity, you've already got most of it covered. The most interesting stuff involves some of the comprehensive information on powered history and science. Suddenly, Jenny's meat ship Inspector Detector, a British man in a long trench coat, appears in your mind, holding a folder. Meat ship Bonquiqui appears to take it from him, and as they begin to chat, you start to read the contents. We don't get to see the uptight British detective AI deal with the fucking mess that is Bonquiqui. Powered humans, a brief history. Fairly certain you already know most of this information. You begin to skim through the articles, catching glimpses of paragraphs here and there. Humans first began developing extraordinary talents in the late 21st century, all appearing in the same generation and spanning across the globe. On the heels of the Industrial Revolution, the Millennial Tech Boom, and the Energy Regenesis, the Powered Renaissance has been marked as the next great step in human history. You stop reading, scrolling to another document. Had evolved beyond racism, sexism, and sexual orientationism. I don't think orientationism is a word, but I could be wrong. But these hot-button issues were quickly supplanted by genism. This first crop of powered individuals, powards as they were soon dubbed, though less polite circles referring to them as gene hazards, were greatly shunned by the general public, so many of the international powered individuals fled to Millennia City, an emerging urban center in the American West Coast, where they could be free to form their own community. Okay, so the shit isn't like all over the world, it's mostly just this city that has like all the powered people because they just kind of picked a spot. Backed by the United States government, which realized the fast-acting acceptance and regulation of powered individuals would kickstart a resurgence of their declining prominence against the then-dominated world power, China. Of course, everything has to be but fucking China. The American Powered Renaissance began, solidified by both the Powered Citizen Equality Act and the creation of the Department for the Regulation of Powered Resources. the world's first powered heroes began to flourish in America's Millennia City, sparking a cultural trend that would sweep the globe, though anti-powered regulations in China remain highly controlled as... Okay, are we going to get to fight China? I'm going to fight China. You keep skimming, hoping to find some tidbit you don't know already. As it is widely known, the progress of the millennial tech boom curved off with the onset of the Third World War. That... Solid prediction there. Which in turn sparked the perfection of the nuclear technology that spawned the energy regenesis, at the unthinkable cost of losing a sizable portion of northern Russia to the fusion eclipse. Russia fucked up something like dumbasses. Unsurprising. Many scientists have posited that, in light of this massive world upheaval, human evolution took the next leap to satisfy society's inefficiencies. With technology now eliminating the need for basic human functions, with the energy crisis seemingly solved, humanity was free to unlock further potential with their genomes and take on new abilities. The onset of powered abilities has sparked another period of rapid growth and change, unlocking potential previously thought unimaginable. With humans now regulating weather patterns, generating clean water, and building cities in their minds, I don't think you can live there. The limits of progress seem to have once again been shattered. Just this week, NASA reported that they're prepping their first mission of powered astronauts, capable of traveling through space at previously unrecorded speeds and distances. Others, most notably the growth cult movement called The Meek, possess a decidedly less positive outlook on the powered renaissance. Many see an upswing in the violence, unrest, and conflict that will most assuredly lead to the Fourth World War. Fun. Just fucking get the new gods up in here. Especially as the Eastern and Western worlds seem deadlocked to the powered individual arms race. We have to fight Darkseid for the world's comfiest couch. You stop reading, looking up at Jenny with an eye roll. Come on, I know my heroing history inside and out and backward. Don't you have anything new for me? As a matter of fact, I do, Jenny says. I've got a special tip for you. Fighting tip, power tip, back to talk. Why would we not get a fighting tip? When fighting with your powers, the smartest thing you can do is consider the appropriate level of force. It's important not to use too much power, but equally important not to use too little. Assessing the appropriate level of power necessary for certain battles can be the difference between life and death. Duh! You nod at Jenny, thinking that even though it seems like common sense, you've never really thought about in exactly those terms before. Even better, this knowledge increases the current ceiling of your power by 20. Okay, I'm assuming the other one probably would have increased that ceiling even further. Is it at least going to, like, cut an option that wouldn't work in fights? Alright, so you started a fine mess with the splice circle, Jenny says. One of my contacts in the downtown precinct interrogated Tracker. Turns out Smingers didn't just want the gravitas to increase his offensive powers. He was also trying to expand his ancient weapon business. And contracted Tracker to acquire the gravitas and become the Splice Circle's newest general. Apparently Tracker had already had his gene-deep penile enlargement scheduled. Fucking Christ. Jenny lets out a giggle, but quickly pulls herself back to the seriousness. There was some concern within the Splice Circle that the blatantly illegal nature of Smingers' latest enterprise was too bold, so Madame Weiss began placing her ducks in a row for a coup, a move she had been waiting to make since Smingers dumped her. The prodigal showed up, you fill in, taking out Smingers and giving Madame Weiss the chance she needed to make her move. Right you are. Here's the latest intel on the Splice Circle's operations, Jenny says, sending another Inspector Detector me message, this time displaying the organized Splice Circle chart pulled up earlier. See, updated roster boss, Smingers deceased. Okay, good, dead. Boulder also deceased. Business generals. Okay, Madame Weiss is moving up. No one knows where this motherfucker is. Juana Man is moving up. Third degree dead. Yes, look at the criminals. Lolly is moving up the underboss. Casing dead. Drugs, Fracture dead. Tracker dead. Well, not dead, but probably not going anywhere. Our intel isn't perfect, but as far as we can tell, as soon as Smingers went down, Madame Weiss made her move. She had already recruited the female-centered generals Juana Man and Lolly, bringing the club, Sin Din, and the prostitution ring together. However, the former underboss, Casing, made a play for his rightful succession as just as fast. But Madame Vice moved faster, Jenny finishes, since Casing's body washed up on the docks this morning. Looks like someone's been rather busy, and say, thinking that all done in the past couple of weeks was stop an Anna gang rumble. Madame Vice had already seized control of the circle, started restructuring, but there was a hiccup with Kirkpatrick. Jenny starts. Do you remember who Static was? Yes, you don't need to remind me. Well, it turns out he hasn't been heard from because he abandoned the Cape route and went undercover. Static was Kirkpatrick, Jenny says, almost proudly. Turns out he has the power to avoid all forms of mind control, making him the perfect mole against hypno-powereds like Smingers and Madame Vice. When Smingers went down, Kirkpatrick panicked and got trigger-happy. No one knows exactly how, but Madame Vice found him out, and he's been missing ever since. Any hunches, you ask, not wanting to think about what's probably happening to Static/Kirkpatrick right now. Apparently, Kirkpatrick had been collecting evidence against the Splice Circle for months, waiting for the right time to strike. The police think Madame Vice had taken him hostage, trying to find the location of his evidence stockpile. She needs to get her hands on it for new improved Splice Circle to survive, not to mention to cement her boss status. Jenny looks at you, growing serious. Here's the thing. Only the Mick PD and Madame Vice know about this evidence, which gives you a unique opportunity here, again. If you find that stockpile, it will help the police take down both Vice and Splice. I don't think I have to tell you what'll happen if Splice Circle destroys that evidence and finishes restructuring. I'll be at the top of their target list, you say. Fuck, gotta take a drink. But so will Prodigal, Jenny said. But so will Prodigal, Jenny says. The Splice Circle probably already has information on her that we don't, so taking them out may also help lead you to her. So if I find the evidence stockpile, I give the police exactly what they need to arrest the Splice Circle at their weakest juncture. In the process, I also clear my name and salvage my rep as a hero. And as a bonus, I might learn something about this Prodigal lady. This seems like a no-brainer. Precisely, Jenny says, smirking. So what the slugger are you waiting for? See, he's getting wrapped up in this craziness again. Is downright suicidal. I'm not waiting for anything. Meathead jumping in. This is the second chance to get things right after that terrible first night. Best of all, if you're successful in shutting down the Splice Circle and saving Static, you'll surely be seen as the next champion of the Fringes. An excellent place to continue your climb to fame. Just don't forget where you came from. People will give you shit for it later. Yeah, but Jenny, how am I going to find the evidence faster than the police, Madame Vice, or some other meddling hero? You ask. I'm not a detective. That was a lucky break with Tracker's fingertips. Well, you don't start getting used to some intrigue-solving almighty Captain Thunderificent the 21st, Esquire, Jenny proclaims. Besides, you were in Smingers' headquarters and you confronted Madame Vice, so I'm betting you saw and heard things in there that might help you, even if you don't know what they are yet. The real question is, Jenny says with a wink, where are you going to start? Next chapter. Case Magic. Are we going to get to meet Big Titty Magic Chick? I hope we do. As you leave the Vigilante, you have to squint against the rising sun. Morning has arrived. Okay, so all this shit did happen at night. Wait, why the fuck did she have a hair appointment early in the morning? Whatever. Alrighty, but you're too amped from your mission to be tired. Your eyes adjust to the light just in time to catch another flash out of the corner of your eye. I guarantee it's that goddamn jury bitch or someone he or the mayor or something sent after us, or it's that reporter. It's someone gathering dirt. It has to be. Why does that keep happening? It's like some side effect of your energy powers you haven't experienced before? Or maybe someone's following you. You find your answer, however, as you look at the corner and see a woman waving at you. It's Sonia Challa, the reporter who published the Gravitas stories about you. I don't remember the voice they gave her either. I'll just give basic woman voice. How long have you been following me, you ask, as you approach, not in the mood for niceties, especially not with this woman. How long have you been seeing flashes you can't quite spot? Sonia asks, speaking so quickly her words blur together. You only saw me now because I wanted you to for the record. Great, and thanks so much for the glowing article in the Gravitas. I really enjoyed it. I don't create facts, I just report them. If you want a good story, do better next time. Sonia's eyeballs flash bright white light, taking another mental picture of you, and begin to twitch back and forth, once again taking notes on your meeting. Okay, so she fucking... I can get... She takes pictures with her eyes. Her note shit is in her head, too. That just... No. Anyway, I've been following you for an in-depth piece, Sonia says, beginning to pace as she speaks. You should be flattered. Now I want to ask you if you could have further access to your life as a hero. Letting break your sacred identity, of course, but simply permission to follow any costume and whatever the fuck. She speaks fast. It's fine if I mumble. Well, that's quite an offer. What do you think? Of course I'm going to say yes. Fantastic opportunity. Sure, but I do know that Sony's probably going to follow me no matter what I say, so I can't trust someone like Sony. She's already trashed me once. Why wouldn't she do this again if given the chance? She is going to follow somebody. I'll go with the weaker option rather than just telling her to fuck off, because maybe we could fuck her over later. Fine, but there will be conditions as to... Excellent choice, Sony cuts you off. I'll give you a heads up before the article comes out. As a courtesy, you won't be seeing me again. Okay, so she's just gonna fucking leave. Before you can respond, there's another bright white flash, and your eyes finally recover. Sonya's gone. Hopefully our relationship with Tanya will allow us to destroy her career. Excited to see what kind of article Sonia will put together, you make sure to strike a pose while flying into the air, just in case she's still watching. As you go, you also decide that your next move should be to look for clues at the rival bar, prepare for miss, look for clues to back to his apartment, go to shed, maybe you can find Madame Vice. Okay, the shed is going to be full of cops and possibly jury. We don't want to deal with that shit. Someone would definitely be at his apartment. We're going to run into someone no matter what we do. Realistically, he wouldn't have kept shit at the bar since that's where he was, like, doing all this shit. His apartment is the logical place. Well, it was easy enough to figure out where Kirkpatrick lived and fly into his apartment through an open window. When you arrived, you found that the place had been turned upside down, completely ransacked by the police and Madame Vice's crew. If there were ever any clues to be found here, you doubt there are any left at this point. Still, you figure there's no harm in trying. Looking around the apartment, you spot a secret room in the back that's been left unlocked. You walk inside and are giddy to find yourself in Static's secret lair in an apartment. Since Static's only power was to resist mind control, then why was... I guess Static is like a static-y images of the mind. Whatever. Stupid. He keeps a considerable amount of weapons and body armor for fighting. Most of his arsenal has been wiped clean by now, but a few random weapons remain. Look over the training station with envy. You wish you had a lair like this. Freeze! You hear from behind you, keeping your cool. You turn around, find two police officers standing in the doorway, aiming their guns at you. Perfect! As you stand to face the officers, you try to decide how to handle the situation. You have to consider what happened between you and the police so far. At best, they absolutely hate you, and at worst, they think you're a fugitive. Still, maybe now is not the time to set the record straight. Just try to escape. I don't want to attack them necessarily, because I want to be a good guy, just more of an anti-hero. I don't want to fucking Hitman rules, the comic one, not the game one. Don't hurt or kill police unless it's actually necessary. Try to escape. Like, we don't like them, but we're tolerant of them. You haven't wanted to work with the police in the past, and you're not going to start now, especially not after the whole Gravitas debacle. You know the police will be out for blood, your blood. So you immediately take flight, hoping to escape without any further altercation. You hear some shots go up behind you, but you don't stop flying until you're clear of the scene. You fly to a nearby rooftop to try and decide what to do. You're obviously not going to pull out of the case, no matter what. Thinking maybe the next you could go to another location you passed up. You hear a thud on the roof behind you. When you turn around, you're rather stunned to be standing face to face with Big titties! You blink several times, sure that your eyes are deceiving you, but they're not. That really is black magic. Her biggest tits standing right in front of you. I'm kidding. I've had quite a time tracking you down, Black Magic says. I need your help with something. Black Magic, the famous, gorgeous, amazing Black Magic, has been looking for you. This can't be real. You are Captain Thunderificent, the 21st Esquire, aren't you? Black Magic asked, looking concerned. You still get a thrill when anyone says your code name, but hearing Black Magic say it sends shock right through your entire body. Mainly to a specific part of your body. You look her over, happy to find she looks as much like Kat Dennings in the person as she does in photos. Such a cringy choice to have that be how they're described. Black Magic wears a sleek black costume with a golden zipper running up the front, which she leaves partially undone, letting some cleavage show. Ooh. The costume hugs her perfect body in all the right places, making her look like a supermodel. Best of all, you really love that Black Magic is... That's natural and easygoing, made up like a vixen, unique, or I don't like Black Magic. Odd? An odd decision, considering we've been gushing about her every time she's come up. Unique? I think natural and easygoing is probably the best choice, because to some extent I feel like this is informing how her personality will be. Natural and easygoing should probably be a bit more tolerant of us, especially since she was a solo, on the edge hero up until relatively recently. Black Magic has an effortless beauty. She looks like the kind of girl who can eat whatever and always look impossibly perfect rolling out of bed in the morning. Most of all, Black Magic looks free. Like she can do anything she wants. The kind of free that could probably get you into some real trouble. And if there's one thing that's true, trouble is what the T in Thunderificent stands for. I'll come up with a full acronym for it for later. Speechless, are we? Black Magic asks, smirking. Yes, Captain Thunderificent, the 21st Esquire, you say, snapping out of it. Why exactly do you need me? Well, I heard you were the hero who helped with the Gravitas investigation, Black Magic says, coming close to you. Hold on. Black Magic whips around and mutters, Generskuriab, encasing the roof in a bubble of shimmering pink light. Oh, she does pink shit like we do. You're about to ask what she's doing until you see a duo of paparazzi on a nearby rooftop. Trying to snap pictures. Black Magic must have cast a spell to protect the two of you against their cameras. Understandable. Sorry about that. Thought I lost them across town. Black Magic says, turning back to you. Anyway, I assume you also know about the Kirkpatrick static connection? If you're back snooping for evidence. You nod, desperately trying to keep your eyes on Black Magic's face, which is equally distracting as her boobies, unfortunately. Alright, Black Magic continues. The MIC-PD has looped the Millennial Group into their investigations of the Splice Circle, since they need the powered team to take down Madame Vice and her new Splice Circle if that evidence is found. I'm the new kid on the group's block, so Rebellion dispatched me to help the MIC-PD find the evidence stockpile. Plus I have a particular hatred for Madame Vice. You want to know what that's all about? But first you have to decide how you want to play things with Black Magic. Okay, again, I don't want anything to do with Black Magic. Not what we're going with. I feel like if we flirt, she's not gonna respond to it well. She got big titties and is mostly known for her beauty and shit. She's probably sick of it. Keep things professional. Fuck it, keep things professional. Works. It would have worked out for us. So how can I help, you ask, still not quite believing your luck here. Black Magic is asking you for help. You, of all people. You better not screw this one up. Oh, you can help me in so many ways, Black Magic says, looking you up and down for the first time, noticing a particularly large bulge down the leg of your pants. Feeling her eyes on you, your heart threatens to explode. That's not the only thing threatening to explode. The police let me go through Static's things, she says, getting back to business. Even though they didn't find anything, I got some weird vibes off this pen, but I have no idea what it is. Black Magic pulls out a fancy black pen, and your eyes practically bulge out of your head. There's a tiny golden orb at the end of the pen, same as the ones on the tip of Madame Vice's whip. It's a telelock. I was hoping that you might know what this is from your splice run-ins. One run-in, Black Magic says, placing a hand on your shoulder, a touch that threatens to buckle your knees and destroy your pants. Slugger, does she smell good? Does it ring any bells? Of course, if that is a telelock. It's probably the only way to access the secret place where Static was stockpiled, is evidence against the splice circle. But if you tell Black Magic this, you'll have to work together, assuming she decides to include you in the next step of the investigation at all. However, if you don't tell Black Magic, getting a hold of that pen might be tricky business. So do you want to work with Black Magic? Yes, I'd love to work with Black Magic, and if I'm really lucky, the Millennial Group. We do want to at least be team-focused. No, I don't care about working with other heroes. I need that clue for myself. I don't mind working with other heroes, but I don't want to get involved with Black Magic. As long as I'm involved in the case, I don't care what I have to do. We'll stick with... We do want to get with her, at least attempt it, and working with the team is better, so we'll stick with that. As a matter of fact, I know exactly what... Suddenly your brain feels like it's split open. You fall to the ground, wondering if someone has taken an ice-cold blade and plunged it directly into your temple. Several images also begin to flash through your mind. A much younger Black Magic stands in front of a much younger Madame Vice in a dimly lit room. Madame Vice has a grin on her face as Black Magic begins to dance, peeling off her costume. What the fuck? Just as soon as the image sears itself into your brain, another replaces it. This time you're in a bed, and Black Magic hangs over you, her lips lightly touching your neck. As much as you like that last image, it burns so badly you think you might pass out. Okay, I'm assuming Vice is probably nearby? Then the pain disappears as quickly as it came. What the? You gasp, trying to ignore the dull buzzing in the base of your skull. I'm sorry, I couldn't risk you lying to me, Black Magic says. The thought swap is one of my more painful spells, but it was necessary. So that was... You try to say, finding hard to form words. I saw your... We swapped our more prominent thoughts, Black Magic explains. I saw your knowledge of the telelock, and you saw my memory of my first meeting with Madame Vice. From the beginning of my career, I was having a hard time pushing that thought from my mind today. And the other scene, you ask? The second scene was where our thoughts meet, Black Magic says with a grin, eyes boring into you. I like the way your brain feels, by the way. Okay, now I feel like the flirting probably wouldn't have been a bad option. Thanks. Don't ever invade my mind like that again. Good, that solid reaction. I like the way your brain feels. Okay, on the one hand, don't fucking do that. On the other hand, she's freaky and we're down. We like how her brain feels. Black Magic just walks across the roof, away from you. I knew that pen was emitting some kind of special energy, she continues. Telelocks are tricky things. I know a spell that can activate it, but I need to recharge. That thought swap took quite a lot out of me. We should head back to the Millennial Group's headquarters. You're about to tell Black Magic that you're able to override a telelock on your own a few weeks ago, but you stopped yourself. The Millennial Group HQ was supposed to be one of the most amazing buildings in all of Mick. No matter what your feeling on team-ups are, you're not going to pass up an opportunity to see how real heroes live, maybe even meet some of them. The excitement doesn't have much time to settle, however, as something long and metal suddenly screeches between you and Black Magic, crackling with grey energy. Watch out! Black Magic screams, but it's too late. Minterview. Okay. Chapter 10. Minterview. You dodge the tentacle arm just in time, leaping back into the nearest roof and catching a glimpse of your attackers. 4 robotic creatures that remind you of automatic pool sweepers. They have sleek, globular cores that host a swinging tentacle, which is armed with a blade tip and energy cannons. Are these things working for Prodigy? After you evade the pool killers, they zero in on Black Magic. You know she's still weak from the thought swap, so what's your plan of attack? Work with Black Magic, end the battle with my own one powerful blast, take the Okay, work with her is probably not the worst choice. What the fuck is our power at? Okay, we got 120. I'm willing to splurge on the obliterating shit. You build a powerful surge in your forearms, knowing one large blanket blast should be enough to disable the pool killers. Soon feeling ready to burst, you let the energy loose. However, instead of one wide blast, a massive pulse emits from your entire body. The pink energy wave still incinerates all the pool killers on contact, but was way overkill. Even Black Magic has to shield herself from getting scorched. What the slugger? That's the second time your powers have surged unexpectedly like that. Looking down at your smoking forearms, you wonder why this keeps efficient display. Captain Thunderificent, the 21st Esquire, Black Magic says. What a harmonious power set you have. It really does instill confidence in your abilities. I can't tell if she's being sarcastic. What were those things, you ask, just wanting to change the subject from your power flare? I have no idea, but I bet they're a present from Madame Vice, Black Magic says. Whatever they are, we don't have time for this. I've just enough spell power to let us back to the Millennial Group HQ. I can recharge and do the ritual on the telelock. You coming? Of course, I guess. Can I look at the telelock? 50-50 shot, we blow it up, so we're not doing that. Let's just go. Stand close to me, Black Magic says, and you have no trouble doing so. You're about to put your hand on her arm when she says, Portrans Quartershed, okay. Suddenly you feel as if someone has thrown you into the middle of a hurricane. Wind rips at your body and you open your mouth to scream, but before you know it, you find yourself in the foyer of the MGHQ, and it's completely surreal. Did she just use someone like the fucking tornado from Castlevania 2? Located on Mick's western shore, the MGHQ is a sleek tower shaped like a massive bullet. Currently you stand in a dazzlingly white foyer overlooking the ocean. The walls are lined with wax text statues of every Millennial Group member, dating all the way back to the original roster. What you wouldn't give to have a statue like that someday. Come with me, Black Magic says, walking towards the bank of elevators. You snap out of it and follow, your eye catching a holographic map of the headquarters. You look over the map, settling on... What should we settle on? Yeah, Mission control, training levels, government liaison. Mission hangar. Ooh, advanced weapons. Advanced weapons. We want to, be the fucking psychotic tank. You start to think about how much fun it would be to explore there. Then your eyes settle on the top of the hologram, which shows the residential levels. Each group member gets their own first-class luxury floor. They get a whole fucking floor? What the fuck? How many members does this team have at any given time? 360-degree views of the Pacific Ocean. That means the elevator must be in, like, the middle of the building or something. And downtown Mick, or so you've heard. Of course, the top 3 penthouse levels belong to Rebellion. Greetings, Black Magic, a soothing automated voice says. How may I help you? Hey, Prosy. Okay, those are too fucking similar. Robot's getting just basic robot voice. Hey, Prosy, Black Magic says. Captain Thunderificent the 21st Esquire here is my guest, and we need to go to the Mission Control Hub. Can you request that the other group members meet us there along with Officer Spillane? I've got a lead on the Splice Circle case. Processing request now, says the automated voice. Well done, Black Magic, by the way. Thanks, Prosy, Black Magic says, and the door swings open to reveal a glass elevator. overlooking Millennial City. She steps inside and motions for you to follow. That processor... That's Processor. She's the building's operating system. She also happens to be the group's oldest member, an artificial intelligence construct, that is. Was the group's first computer system back in the 21st century, but has since evolved into one of the most advanced sentient AI beings on the planet. You finish never one to be outdone on your heroic history. Plus, me Chip Bon Kwee has always had quite the me crush on Processor. Ooh, can we hook up the trash that is me Chip Bon Kwee? Yes, some people think that the Japanese Wire Maiden is the most advanced, but Prosy is actually scheduled for systems upgrades that's supposed to kick her ass, Black Magic says, and you should see her mainframe body since she decided to gender identify. She's got a legendary rack. What the fuck? What? Okay, I can understand it deciding to gender identify since it would give it a stronger sense of identity in general. Why did it choose to have big titties? Like, did it choose to do that itself, or did someone suggest it like as a joke and it just kind of went with it? Plus, if it's like a robot, is it like synthetic, like a clone or an android or something? So are they like regular, or is it like a metal plate that's just the shape of big titties? You start to chuckle, but it catches in your throat as the glass elevator flies away from the wall and shoots diagonally downward. Okay, they stole this shit from fucking Willy Wonka. You feel your stomach lurch as the elevator enters a complex network of twisting tubes. You gonna be okay there, champ? Black Magic asks, smiling. Before you can even gain your bearings, the elevator doors swing open and Black Magic strides forward. She makes a few quick turns down slick metal corridors and finally enters a large room. You follow and try to catch your breath, but lose it entirely as you walk inside. For the Millennial group has assembled before you. You can't help but stare, each member more impressive than the last. Who are you most excited to see? Fistful, who sits in a custom chair as he takes up the space of 3 normal people. Ah, that's the guy I need the achievement for putting an article out about. Monk, spiritual guru turned hero. The Diva, wickedly powerful team matriarch, person ornate throne chair. Processor, whose legendary rack glows white underneath her glass skin. Okay, so presumably rock hard booba. Officer Spillane, the group's police liaison, who hasn't noticed you since her eyes remain glued to her me chip. None of them. I only care. Okay. Fuck it. Robo titties. Black Magic walks inside and takes her seat next to the Diva. Fuck. I'm so sick of having a couple of voices. I don't want. I'm not giving her a voice. She's by complete coincidence, the Diva sounds exactly the same as Captain Thunderificid. And who is this? The Diva says in a thick South African accent. I wouldn't even have attempted that. Looking you over from head to toe, you swear you can feel your skin start to prickle under her gaze. There'll be plenty of time for introductions in the official debrief, someone says as they enter, nearly knocking you over. You're about to say something until you realize that the voice belongs to Rebellion. The sight of your idol, decked out in simple blue and gold fatigues, nearly makes you faint. He has quite the intimidating presence, which is helped considerably by his 7-foot height. Rebellion's eyes also glow a dim orange, pulsating with power. As you gaze in awe at Rebellion, you remember that he is your favorite hero because he overcame adversity, stands for all things that mattered most as a hero, is the best of the best, does what he thinks is right, whether it lines up with the law, very first recipient of the... Okay, because he skirts the law. That is why we like him. And that's exactly how you want to operate. Oh, no. See, he is presumably restrained. We just want to do whatever the fuck we want. Now, if your guest might take a seat, we can begin, Rebellion says as he stands at the head of the table. The impatience in his voice unhidden. Oh, he pissed. You force your legs to move and you sit in the nearest empty seat, which you hope doesn't belong to someone more important. As you settle in, you try to will your heart to stop pounding in your chest, because this is absolutely unreal. Last month, you didn't even have your hero license, and today you're sitting in a mission control debrief with the Millennial Freaking Group. That's not where freaking should have gone in that, but alright. Led by Rebellion. It's certainly enough to make your head spin. This is the opportunity of a lifetime. You better not screw it up. We're gonna screw it up. This is established. The JonTron quote is just going to my head. The beatings will come. You will be beat. There is no escape. So I guess that would be, the screw-ups will come. You will be screwed. There is no escape. And, Black Magic has given the rundown on your telelock findings and your encounter with the pool killers. You thought you might have been asked to speak, but aside from your brief acknowledgement and your telelock tip, everyone ignored your presence entirely. You pathetic little bitch. Rebellion's plan formed quickly. Black Magic is to report to the hospital floor for immediate recharging. Once restored, she will discern the location of Static's evidence stockpile from the telelock. If the evidence is successfully secured by the MCPD, the Millennial Group will then take action against the Splice Circle, whose current whereabouts are to be researched remotely by Processor. You hoped you might get the chance to introduce yourself to Rebellion, but he was out of the door before you could even stand up, followed by Officer Spillane, who sent you a rather dirty look on her way out. You dreamed of meeting Rebellion for years, rehearsed speeches and introductions, but this all turned out to be rather anticlimactic. Now as the other group members begin to stir, you have no idea what you're supposed to do. Luckily, Black Magic approaches you on your way out. Stick around, she says, placing a hand on your hip. Things are about to heat up. Okay, she's definitely trying to fuck. Everything has happened so fast, you barely had time to think about what you really want with Black Magic. But now, with her standing right in front of you, you know you want... Okay. She can see our shit whenever she wants. And she said she likes how her brain feels, so she's definitely going to. We don't want to fling, because it's probably going to throw her off. She's been like, no. We want something to do with her. I do want to be an asshole, and if the opportunity arises, I'm going to bang other people. There's something serious to lock her in now and risk pissing her off later, or who knows, to keep our options open in general. Yeah, we're a dick. Something serious now, but screw it up later. Black Magic seems perfect in just about every way, and you can't stop thinking about her. You feel there's something potentially deep between the two of you. Hopefully you'll have the opportunity to find out. What should I do while you're gone, you ask. The other group members will probably just hang around until you're in our next order, Black Magic says, leaning in to whisper in your ear. Go talk to them. Consider it a part of your minterview, as they call it. That's cringe as fuck. Before you can respond, Black Magic winks at you and strides toward the door. You didn't think I brought you here just for giggles, did you? Play nice now. Why would she put you forward when the only thing anyone knows about you is that you're a screw-up and probably a dick? With that, Black Magic leaves, and with the rest of the group. So you aren't just here to help, you're here to audition for the Millennial Group? That's insane. Why on earth would they want a rookie like you on the team? Especially one with your brief but miserable track record. I guess maybe someone knows who your parents are. You know without a doubt that you want to be part of a community of heroes as prestigious as the Millennial Group. But you've certainly learned that it's useless to obtain opportunities that you're not ready to handle. Knowing this, who do you think you should talk to? See, the diva whose megasonic voice makes her one of the most powerful women on the planet. Now in her early 60s, the diva has been in the Millennial Group for nearly 20 years. After her first profession as a cardiac surgeon was taken over by advanced robotics. She has since risen to be one of the group's most respected and feared members. Ooh, we could work with that. Monk, former spiritualist turned playboy hero, whose raunchy transformation has been splayed across the Tiro tabloids for years. Yo! The gender-neutral Zahir still adheres to wait, it's Playboy. Is that her, but with an I? Vow of silence. Whatever. Here, vast telekinetic powers require their full concentration. Fistful, who is torn straight from the old Jersey Shore stereotype. He is one of the most controversial group members, especially since many people think he uses illegal powered steroids to amp up his already considerable strength. Okay, on one hand, talking to him probably is how I get the information for that achievement, but exposing him probably also would shithouse any chance I have of joining the group. Diva seems to at least have some kind of relationship with black magic, so she's probably talked me up to her at least a little bit. Plus, we could probably learn from her how to be respected and feared. You approach the diva with caution. You remember your mother telling you the worst stories about her. Since they both had vocally based powers, the sound and the diva ended up bitter rivals. As a matter of fact, your mother always thought that the diva was the reason she and your father were never invited to be part of the group. Diva, you say, trying to keep your voice steady. Do you think I could walk with me? The diva says, sounding suspiciously familiar. Before sauntering out the door, you hurry along and catch up, studying her as she goes. The diva's long black hair cascades across her flawless caramel skin. She has chosen to wear her House of McQueen costume today, okay? Every major fashion house has taken a stab at her iconic costume during the past 2 decades. The diva's closet has a collection of some of the finest costume couture ever created. While the styling of the costumes vacillates wildly, they're always in her signature colors, white and gold with a bold splash of pink. The diva's current costume is a skin-tight white bodysuit, hand-sewn with silver seams. The bodysuit serves as a clean template of future structural dark pink collar, to feature a structural dark pink collar that juts into the air in a sharp, asymmetrical tower. The collar's lapels then curve down into a point at the waist. At the waist? Making a striking shape. Why the fuck does the collar go down to the waist? Taking in the costume, you decide to speak up. Love your costume today. Gonna change the costume for the mission, right? Where are we going? Is this bitch on her stats? No, Black Magic's on her stats, and the general group is on her stats. Okay, we're doing pretty well so far. Only person that we're below 50% with is Victon. We don't want to be up with him, and yet somehow have a positively increased score. Okay. If we talk shit... Can't decide. Where are we going is the neutral answer. If we say I love it, either she's going to think you are a kiss ass, or be glad you have fashion sense. If you say you should go to change that, she'll either respect you for it, or tell you to fuck off. Fuck it. Potentially piss her off. Did we fuck it up? I don't remember if it was 52 or not before. I think it was like maybe a percentage up. The diva takes a moment to glance back at you, then continues walking without a word. You follow her what seems a long time, through corridors, upstairs, downstairs, all without a word uttered in any direction. You finally arrive at the diva's residential floor, and she walks inside with a wave of her meat-ship, not bothering to hold the door for you. You slip inside and find that the space is decorated impeccably, the perfect mix between a Park Avenue apartment and a Hamptons beach house. Or at least what they look like in the Hollow movies. There's a lot of white paneling, traditional furniture, French doors, and hydrangeas. Do you take your shoes off, darling? The diva says. Glad you could keep up. I hate those wretched elevator traps. You pull off your costume's boots and as quickly as you can manage, trail after the diva. Noting she hasn't removed her own stilettos. She finally stops in a palatial bathroom suite, which appears to move like the fully functioning spa, considering there's a staff gathered to tend to the diva. Come sit, darling, the diva says to you, perching herself in a luxury recliner. Hair, makeup, and massages are always necessary before public missions. Now remind me, who are you again? I'm Captor Thunderificent, the 21st Esquire, you say, forcing a smile. I start. Don't worry, my grandma has trouble remembering names too. Yo! Flatly, oh, I'm sure you already know what my code name is, darling. You say enough. Ooh. Okay, not gonna say it flatly. Forcing him to smile is stupid. Should we call her old? Or should we call her old, or should we mock her? Should we call her old, or should we mock her? If we call her old, she'll probably get mad. If we mock her, maybe she'll respect it. Mock. Fuck! The diva just scowls at you, so you decide to keep talking. I'm here to help with the static case because, yes, I'm sure it's a fascinating tale, the diva interrupts, closing her eyes as a mascara brush descends upon her face. But why are you really here? I don't think I understand. I am always rather charmed by slowness. A stretch of silence. Oh, come on, you can't stand up to her. Fuck it. I actively insulted her through this entire process. Why could I not stand up to her? Is it because of one of my stats? I'm fame-focused, lawless, and offensive. Why can I not talk shit? A stretch of silence ensues that is only broken by the sound of a curling iron hissing against the diva's hair. All group members have the privilege of bringing in new recruits, but the poor dear does seem to have rather interesting tastes, Diva finally says with a sigh. I never expected her to bring in anything quite so stray. Is the diva talking about you and black magic? I'd always heard that black magic was a bit wild, but you never gave much credit to the rumor mill. Apparently you should have. But the thought of black magic and the diva together is rather intriguing. You're not about to let the diva walk all over you. Still, you're a team player, and you want things to go well with your minterview. Why can't I talk shit? It does not make sense with my past actions and my personality based on this that I cannot backsass her. God damn it. Well, I'd certainly agree that there's more than enough black magic to go around, you start. But I'm happy to concede her to the world's most enrapturing heroine if that's what you wish. Hey, if the diva needs to mark her territory, you're happy to let her spray wherever she may. You don't necessarily have to back off the black magic, especially since the diva won't ever know what happens behind closed doors. Also, what the fuck? Black magic is presumably like your age, like 18 to early 20s. This bitch is 60. The fuck? How now? Kitty's got claws, the diva says, her thick lips stretching into an actual smile. I do think we're going to get on famously. When it comes to black magic, there's a certain history that bears repeating. We understand each other perfectly, you say, smiling back at the diva as widely as you can manage. Yo, darling, you do look remarkably familiar. You remind me of someone I can't quite place. You immediately think of your mother. Looks like you're going to be able to get some additional revenge for the Voltaire III Esquire. Yes! Screw this bitch over. But before you can respond, Processor's voice comes from the intercom. All group members kindly reconvene in mission control. It appears as if we'll have to finish our chat some other time, the diva says, waving away her style minions. I'll be sure to put in a word so that may happen. Yes, you say. I'd like that very much. As you re-enter mission control, you find that the rest of the group is already gathered. You take a seat next to Black Magic, who looks recharged and good as new. So how'd that go? She whispers to you. You know that your interactions just now probably sealed your fate with the Millennial Group, but Rebellion's voice booms from the head of the room before you can answer. Officer Spillane will handle the debrief, he says. In the meantime, I'm going to have a word with Captain Thunderificent, the 21st Esquire. Outside. He is Slugger. Standing outside in the corridor with Rebellion, your pulse begins to race. Now is your chance to say something to him. You scream at yourself and you had to speak. Rebellion, can I just say that it is an absolute honor to... I'll keep this brief. Rebellion cuts you off. Firstly, I wanted to thank you for helping us with the telelock. Because of your tip, Black Magic was able to locate Static's stockpile of evidence. Madame Weiss hasn't gotten to it yet, and the MCBD is already procured enough to take down the entire splice circle. You pause, trying to absorb this information. I'm happy to have played a pivotal role in furthering the investigation from the group. Angry that the case was stolen in front of me. Don't mind going toward the MGHQ and meet some of the heroes. Okay, now, we do want to be team positive. Who cares about one case? Play things right. This opportunity might lead back to much bigger and better cases. First, the thought from Manager Rebellion continues. The Millennial Group has been tasked with bringing in remaining splice generals, which is exactly what we're about to do. But there's something else. Our PR department has decided that adding an aspiring rookie to our ranks will boost our image and help us gain a younger following. Yes, recruiting someone who is famously known as a screw-up and fucking fugitive. That'll totally go over well. It's all nonsense to me, but I'm not opposed to bringing in a promising amateur mentor. Okay, who would you want to bring in? We've been auditioning many young heroes, and as thanks to your assistance, I was thinking of including you in the mission. Holy slugger, you think? Rebellion is thinking of asking you to fight alongside him, to maybe even mentor you? This is too much to even process. Next. And you really seem like a team player, Rebellion says. So you can join us in the Splice Circle mission. if I were an asshole to everyone, a solo person, would he be like, "You're my kind of person. Get in here." I don't know. Damn, my tea's gone cold. Looks like, let's see, you can hardly believe your ears. Did your idol just tell you that you'll be fighting alongside with the mix's greatest powered team? And if all goes well, it could lead to an actual group membership. Looks like sucking up to the diva really paid off. I'd be honored to join you, you say. I absolutely won't let you down. We'll certainly find out, Rebellion says. We happen to be auditioning another potential new member today. Here he is now, actually. You turn, it's the fucking douchebag. Jury striding down the hall. You think anyone but him. As Jury stops next to Rebellion, the sight is enough to make your blood boil. Wow, look. What voice did he give? Well, look who it is, Jury says, smugly as he can manage. Good to see you again, cutie. We've got to get going, Rebellion says, turning to re-enter mission control. May the best hero win. As Jury follows Rebellion inside, he winks at you and mouths, You're going down. Oh yeah? Game on! Put a Y in there, because he's, big old Gabo. No one is taking this opportunity away from you, especially not a victim. We are going to fuck his shit up. I will go against the character I've been building up to this point just to fuck him over. I don't care. Vengeance should always be the priority. Chapter 11. Splice Girls. I literally know... I would make a Spice Girls joke, but I know literally fucking nothing about them. Get up. You try to move your limbs and feel yourself slide across the jagged rubble. Your temple pounds and a sharp pain radiates through your left arm. All you want to do is close your eyes until the searing stops. But as a hissing sound from somewhere behind you grows louder, the world flashes white and you remember where you are. Get up, or you're going to die. Well, someone fucked shit up. Hopefully, Jury. But probably us. The memories whip through your mind at lightning speed. The hover plane right over with the Millennial Group. Trying not to explode watching Jury chat casually with Rebellion. Sitting next to Black Magic. Your knees touching. Winking in the diva's direction for good measure despite her scowl. Why is she scowling at us? We appeased her! Landing outside of Ace's High Casino. The Splice Circle's temporary base of operations. Rebellion barking orders, splitting the team into separate missions. Rebellion, Monk, and Fistful went after Madame Vice and her generals. Diva and Jury went to rescue Static. You, Black Matic, and Processor were supposed to disable the pool killers. After carving through the dozens of drones, you and Black Magic covered Processor while she shut down the mainframe. It was hidden in the VIP client lounge. That's not a good place to put that. Then you watch as the pool killers fell to the ground, burning into lifelessness. Humming into lifelessness. Fucking goddamn it. It all seemed so easy. Now, until the room twisted and crumbled up around you, thick with light. Now, as you come to these memories blur together in one thought, whatever hit you must be coming to finish you off. So what do you do? Where are our stats at? Yo, we're 70% with both of them. Fuck yeah. Full team player. Power still at 100. Health still at 80. Ooh, legend up to 18. Doing good. Go defensive with energy shield, evasive pattern, offensive with cyclonic energy. Yeah, Wonder Woman attack again. Always Wonder Woman attack. You stretch out your arms and spin super fast. Captain Thunderificent. As winds begin to rip away at from your body, your hands generate a fury of twisting outward blasts. Coming to a stop, you see the immediate area around you has been cleared. You stand next to a puddle of burning, viscous gel. You look across the ground and see gel everywhere, pooled and around rubble, broken slot machines, the limp bodies of Processor and Black Magic. What happened here? You zero in on Black Magic. You can't tell if she's breathing. You're about to rush to her side when a shriek pierces the air. You twist around to find, at least we didn't fuck everything up, a trio of young girls staggering towards you. The skin melts off their bones in a deep crimson protoplasm, turning into a kind of oozing goo that smells like motor oil. The girls struggle through their own drippings as if trying to get as if trying to pry their way out. Looks like some twisted ballet, the girls' limbs pushing and their faces contorting into screaming scowls. You watch in horror. These girls can't be much older than Tarana Rain. We'd heard rumors of Madame Weiss got many of her workers through unorthodox methods. But how did these girls get like this? When the triplets finally break free of their shedding goo, they become entirely bare skeletons. Their skin and organs are oozing around them like lava. "We are the Molten Ladies," they whisper in unison, "and you will burn with us." The ladies then begin to scoop up the searing goo and fling handfuls of it at you. Oh god, they're slinging shit at us! You try and react quickly, but a glob grazes your arm as it flies by. Doesn't matter how young these girls are, you need to retaliate now. Suit up with energy armor and fight through them. Trap the girls with a shrinking energy containment field. 95, we can spare it. Without waiting a second, you encase the girls in containment field. You don't need to be hurt any more than necessary. The Molten Ladies try to fling ooze to free themselves, but you made the field very strong. The ladies scream as the walls begin to close in on them, doubling their efforts to break free, but the pink energy connects with their bare bones. 2 of the girls fall to the ground. Then you hear a mad hissing sound and feel something scalding your neck. Screaming in pain, you look down to find a noose of ooze around your neck. The middle girl created a whip of the gel and managed to crack through your energy with it. You can feel your skin bubbling under the ooze noose and your air supply quickly cuts off. You reach up to free yourself, but suddenly the gel jerks you forward as the Molten Lady pulls hard on the noose. You slam into the ground, gasping for air. You won't be able to take much more of this, and you need to find a way to free yourself, but as the Molten Lady stands over you and tightens her grip, the edges of your vision blur. No, not like this. You can't go down this way. All these cost the same. Try to supercharge the gel to hurt the Molten Lady. The energy barrier did seem to knock the other 2 out. That would probably be useless. This is lethal. I don't want to fuck up my chances with the team. Try and supercharge it. You're about to try this move when, without warning, something comes crashing through the wall next to you. You can feel the noose loosen as the Molten Lady gets distracted, so you tear it away. Across the floor, Rebellion rolls to his feet, chunks of debris sticking to his skin. He strides forward and brushes himself off. Someone just put Rebellion through a wall, and he's not even batting an eye. The lone Molten Lady turns towards Rebellion and cries, "The mighty will... No, the mighty will fall. I will flay the skin from your very..." She doesn't finish, though, since Rebellion punches her across the face as she crumples to the ground with her molten sisters. You can see that some of her organs have already begun to grow back. Revive black magic and follow me," Rebellion says to you as he runs back through the hole in the wall. You can't help but smile. That's why he's the best. You fly to black magic's side and put your ear to her lips. Thankfully, she's still breathing, but just barely. The initial explosion from the Molten Lady's entrance must have hit her hardest. Or maybe your fucking explosion? You need to heal black magic with your energy power, so you take her hand. You can't afford to give up too much power, but it's at a minimum that will do. Level will revive her. 15. As you pour your life energy into black magic, it feels like you're lying on a bed of needles. And one thought rings through your mind like an alarm. "I'm so lonely. Someone take care of me, please. The burden is too much." Suddenly, black magic's eyes flutter open and thoughts fade. Wait, that thought wasn't yours. It was black magic's. You look down at her and brush a strand of hair away from her face. She's so beautiful. Makes you ache someplace deep in your chest. Black magic looks up at you, and for a moment, the world drains away. She seems so vulnerable. How could you not have seen it before? "Thank you," black magic whispers, whichever. Your eyes lock together. Kiss her, get back to the... We want to progress a little bit, but if we kiss her and Diva sees it, she might get pissy. Where are we at? So we're 76%. Fuck it. You lean down and pull black magic's face up to meet yours. and then you kiss her. As your lips meet, something stirs inside of you. Something you haven't ever really felt before. It feels like fireworks. That is called a boner, my friend. But as another explosion rocks the room, you remember there's a whole different kind of fireworks going on all around you. You break apart from black magic. This is insanity. We need to get back in the game, black magic says, hopping to her feet. Are you good to go? It's a very good question. Your power level is down to 65 and your health is at 60. Do you think you need to recharge your power before you go back into the fight? I can afford to recharge 10. Good to go, you say, now that your power level is 75 and your health is at 50. You hope there will be these will be high enough to survive the rest of this fight, knowing that if either of them drops too low, you'll die on the spot. You and Black Magic run into the casino lobby to find Rebellion facing off against Madame Vice. Surrounding her are dozens of guards, all firing at Rebellion. The ground is strewn with destruction, bodies splayed everywhere. You can make out some splice generals and group members amidst the chaos. And out of nowhere, a deranged-looking crocodile woman comes bounding at Rebellion. You help Rebellion, you shout at Black Magic. I'll handle Vice. After listening to your gravitas tip at Shed last time, maybe Vice will listen to reason now. What do you think? Try to talk her down. Madame Vice, you say, approaching slowly, sure to keep your eyes from meeting hers. Remember me? I'm on your... But Madame Vice doesn't let you finish, instead lashing you across the face with her whip. Well then, no more talking. How bad that hurt me. Okay, only 5. Fuck it. Oh, before you can... Vice, she pulls out a nasty-looking gun and tries to catch your gaze. You close your eyes to avoid being hypno-seduced again. As your blast blind... Don't dodge it all! Tank it! How bad is it? Okay, only 15. I'm still good. You stand still and feel a particle beam rip through your thigh, causing you to howl with pain and curse at yourself. Why didn't you try to dodge it? Luckily for you, Madame Vice still has a shot. Otherwise, you might have suffered far worse than a health drop. How are you going to take Vice down? Flight-based attack, energy-based attack, sweep past her at super speed and hit her with a sonic... Ooh, Well, we did save up for those power points. Sonic boom! Launching into the air, you push your flight powers into overdrive. The surrounding air began to whine as you feel your lips peel away from your face. The fuck? Madame Vice is before you instantly, ready to blast again, but you're moving too fast. As you pass her, you give one hard push to your flight powers and feel a sonic boom burst around you. Smiling at this impressive display, you flex your muscles to stop your flight, but you're moving too fast in an enclosed space. Before you know it, you're careening into a solid wall. Yes, still alive. Then you find you have to peel yourself out of the pile of plaster. Slugger, that hurt. You stand up shakily and walk back into the lobby. As you re-enter, you find Madame Vice groaning on the floor. Black Magic and Rebellion have already taken out the Croc Lady and the guards. A bit overkill, no? Black Magic says, you suppressing a smirk. Well, it worked, didn't it? You say, trying desperately to stop from turning bright red. That was way tougher than any of us expected. We really needed all hands on deck there, Rebellion says. Very impressive work, Captain Thunderificent, the 21st Esquire. As battered and exhausted as you are right now, you still feel invincible. You just successfully fought a mission alongside the Millennial Group, and Rebellion just said you were impressive. Now that is awesome. Even better, it appears you have just effectively shut down the Splice Circle, which will do more good for the fringes than you can begin to imagine. You'd pinch yourself if you weren't already highly worried about your drooping health level. You should spring for a health power low level warning function in your meat ship sometime soon. Why? I just fucking look at this shit. What value would there be in that? I can look in it at any time. That would be a waste. Pausing for a moment, you ask Meatship Bonquiqui to open the show stats button and find that your health has dropped dangerously low to 15. You better keep yourself protected for the rest of the mission, or you might die. Fuck you. That's not how Captain Thunderificent rolls. I'm going to check that all group members are all right, Rebellion says. You two make sure Vice and the rest of her goons are detained. As Rebellion gets to it, Black Magic waves her hands and mutters, Talme Seska. Immediately, metal cages begin to erect themselves around the unconscious bodies of the splice circle. Slugger, you think? Is there anything black magic's powers won't allow her to do? I can help, you know, you say, stepping forward. I got this, Captain Thunderificent, the 21st Esquire, Black Magic says, moving in front of you. You've already done more than enough for me tonight. As Black Magic keeps erecting containment cages, you can't help but detect the edge in her voice. She must not be very used to being vulnerable. I did get a decent boost from... Don't let her push me away. Spin her around. What the? You wrap your arms around Black Magic and pull her into a tight hug. Black Magic stays tense for a few moments, but then you feel her body press into yours. Who the fuck is talking? Fuck! I can't remember what voice I can't remember either. God damn it. Well, look at that. Captain Thunderificent, the 21st Esquire, and Black Magic sitting in a tree? Madame Vice says, gripping her battle wounds. I can't imagine a more repulsively pathetic pair. Says the witch about to spend the rest of her life in jail, Black Magic snarls, hatred burning in her eyes. Don't think I forgot for 1 second what you made me do all those years ago. Yeah, that got dark. Oh, dear little Black Magic. No one ever forgets, Madame Vice says, smiling. Or don't you know, what goes around comes around. You've had your revenge today, but I'll have mine another. Madame Vice then turns to you, the cruelty in her voice doubling. As for you, Captain Thunderificent, the 21st Esquire, there's a rather wicked lady out there coming for you. I wouldn't want to be in your boots. Oh, no, I wouldn't. Assuming she's talking about fucking Prodigy. Or Prodigal, whatever the fuck her name is. What on earth is that supposed to... You start, but it interrupted as Jury comes running into the room. I'm here. What do you need me to... But Jury stops his tracks as he sees the finished battle. Did you enjoy your nap for the grown-ups were wrapping things up? Or, oh, thank goodness, what would we do without you here to help? I can't tell if that's sarcastic or not. Fuck it. Going with the fuck you. Black Magic stifles a chuckle, and Jury glares at you, his hands curling into fists. I'm going to make you eat those words. I'd like to see you try, you say, smiling widely. Jury opens his mouth to fire back, but before he can, Madame Vice lets out a blood-curdling scream. You, Black Magic, and Jury all spin to find Madame Vice's body limp in the cage. Her limbs splayed open! Jesus fucking Christ. Blood trickles down her ample chest from a gaping slash in her throat. Jesus. What? Black Magic gasps. You only turned around for a second. Who could have... But Black Magic doesn't have time to finish as her eyes travel up to Madame Vice's face. Letter S is burned into her forehead. Okay, I'd say that's a pretty solid place to end it for the night. My voice is losing tired, and it's been almost 2.5 hours. Much longer than I usually do. Alright. I will see you lovely people and find out where this story goes probably next Tuesday. I'm going to be doing this consistently on Tuesdays, maybe on and off Thursdays. Alright. And I'll see all you lovely people next up.